Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome back to another Real Madrid review. Leipzig 0, Real Madrid 1. Real Madrid win the first leg of the Champions League round of 16 away in Germany, in Leipzig, against RB Leipzig. I wouldn't say it's controversial because, look, I don't think a lot of people will, really be talking about it. But I still think that it has to be called out, and it has to really be said that, you know, what is the point of having VAR if the referee and the assistant referee and the VAR team are going to decide that a close call and a call that's going to be important like this is not going to get decided by VAR? Because look, that goal in the second minute by, I think was it who scored it actually? Was it Shesko? Or was it someone else? You know, it was onside. It was onside because the furthest player for Leipzig was behind the keeper. So theoretically that's offside. But I'm not so sure the rules. But he's behind the keeper. So basically he's not blocking the keeper from, making the save. It shouldn't be offside. And in front of the keeper, the players in front of the keeper for RB Leipzig are onside because Rodrigo has split them on. So unless you're telling me that the player behind the keeper has been played offside, this disallowed goal doesn't make any sense. And it's not the fact that they've disallowed it, I think, that causes a lot of controversy. I think it's also because of how certain they were to say, look, we're not going to go to the monitor, we're not going to go to the screen, we're not going to check. We are 100% sure that is 100% offside, and we're not going to give it. And I know, bias-wise, I would just be here saying, look, I'll take it, that's definitely offside, and that's definitely disallowed. But I just can't see why it was disallowed. And they didn't know whether they should allow the goal or not. Hence why they were like, you know what, we're just going to continue with the decision by the on-field ref and assistant ref and linesman. And I think that's what's happened because they didn't check, they didn't replay, they weren't certain of anything. They just decided to go with the flow, and it ended up, coming back to bite them because now, in a sense, it doesn't bite them, but it did bite RB Leipzig because they've had a goal disallowed and they've lost. So, obviously you have to feel bad for Leipzig in this situation where they have had a goal disallowed for unclear reasons. Because, okay, if they come on and they, describe that as offside in a way that we should know, then okay, fair. But I haven't seen any, reasonable explanations from UEFA or anyone that would suggest that that was 100% offside. So I think that, that was unfortunate for Leipzig. But then the goal from Brahim, I mean, that really is one of the best goals of the season. I mean, look at that goal. Just look at that goal. He gets the ball, he nearly falls, but he gets up. He doesn't go down, he gets up, he continues. The strength, the determination to get going, just stand up and go. Gets past, if I'm not wrong, he got past Raum, he got past Schlager, he got past Javi Simons, he got past a couple of players, 3 to 4 players in there. And then the finish into the top left corner. GOLAZO had no chance. Was a great finish. You have to give credit where credit's due, because that goal was absolutely stunning. And that's the only goal. Because I mean, you look at the stats. RB Leipzig 14 shots to 15. Okay, 9 shots on target to 3. They're a shot less than us, but they had 3 times as many shots on target than us. Meaning that Real Madrid had the opportunities, but it was just, let's just randomly shoot. Whereas Leipzig was working the ball, they had more control, the possession was 50-50, it was very even. Um, 7 passes fewer, which is, crazy 1% pass lower accuracy. You know, overall, you know, it was Leipzig had probably the greatest chance to win. In the first half, they had probably greater chance to win. But in the second half, as soon as Real Madrid scored, obviously the game was really wrapped up from there. But Leipzig dominated, and you have to, agree with that because they did. They did dominate the game. Real Madrid looked like the team that were not able to keep control of the ball. Once you have the ball, you're like, okay, do we just shoot from long range or what do we do? But of course, Real Madrid always find a way, in this competition. Real Madrid always find a way in any games, really. And of course, every time you see Real Madrid struggling, it's probably just a magical moment from a magical player or an individual player, to change the game, to change the momentum, and the game just, changes completely. And it's one of those things again, before we continue, RB Leipzig, obviously, like I said, hard done by. They now have to go to the Santiago Bernabeu, trailing 1-0. It's going to be difficult. I wouldn't say it's impossible because they gave us a great game, but it's highly unlikely here. But let's go through, their team. I mean, GOLAZO, that goal was unstoppable, but apart from that, I thought he was alright. The back four, Raum, Simakon, Orban, Klosterman are alright. Obviously they have Honviks in there as well, Schlager, Olmo, Javi Siemens, but I was probably the most excited and amazed by the front two, which was Luis Openda. But I thought Benjamin Šeško was the best player. I thought he had many good chances which he should have scored. Obviously, there were good saves, which we'll get onto in just a while. But he had a lot of opportunities and he was getting into the right spaces, he was making the right runs. I thought Šeško was probably one of the better players. Of course, they brought Almas, Haidara, Poulsen, and Kemper on. They are decent players, but they have got a good team. They've got a good squad. Anything can happen in the second game, I know, but like I said, it's very unlikely that they'll come to the Bernabeu and rock up. With the mentality that okay, we're gonna come here, we're gonna win. And if they do, it's gonna be one of the greatest, achievements I think in football history. Real Madrid. Where do we start? Man of the match is the keeper. Lunin was incredible. 9 incredible saves. If not for Lunin, the game would have definitely been lost. So Lunin man of the match. The back line. Look, Mendy started as expected. You're not going to start Fran Garcia in such a game. You want to protect, your team defensively, and you know that Ancelotti does like Mendy because he's a very defensive player, defensive left back, and even Ancelotti has said, he's probably the best defensive left back in the world. Agree with it or not, he's great defensively, and I think that was necessary because that the likes of Javi Siemens, Dani Olmo, Openda, and even Šeško around the area. Carvajal was alright. Nacho, obviously coming back, we need a centre back, so he's glad to see Nacho back. But I thought Tchouaméni was better. I mean, playing a centre back, playing really well. The midfield, look, quiet today. Camavinga, Cruz, Valverde didn't get control of the game, didn't get control of the ball, losing the ball constantly. I mean, Cruz had the effort which he had to try. Valverde was quiet. Camavinga, was meh. Brahim Diaz got a magical goal. Arguably could be man of the match, but I think Lunin is just slightly better. And the front two, I mean, Rodrigo was quiet and Vinicius Jr. hit the post. And that's really about it. And, Joselu came on, didn't do anything. Lucas Vazquez came on, didn't do anything. And no more subs. Modric didn't come on, which is a surprise. Thought he would have at least started or even come on. Ceballos, wouldn't have changed much. You know, I was surprised Arthur Güler didn't even get a couple of minutes as well. So look, um, you know, the game obviously was won. Obviously, you know, it is going to be tough for Leipzig, but I think that you have to feel sorry for RB Leipzig because I feel like they've been hard done by, and you have to agree. You really have to sympathize with them. Going to the other games, Man City, Copenhagen, not a surprise. PSG, Real Sociedad, not a surprise for me. I know Real Sociedad are a fairly decent side, but you know, you look at the starting 11. You know, no Oyarzabal, no Aritz Stondo. This team, you know, obviously is um, weakened in a sense. And look, they're gonna host PSG, but 2-0 down. It's gonna be tough. Bayern Munich losing away, by the way, to Lazio. I mean, that is, I wouldn't say embarrassing because that would be disrespectful to Lazio, but that is shocking. I don't think they expected it. And of course, we've got the next few games in the next week, so that's gonna be very, very interesting. Definitely, you know, I'm looking at, you know, a game like an Inter against Atletico Madrid, or even Porto Arsenal is good. I mean, all four games are good, aren't they? You know, PSV Dortmund is a good game. Inter Atletico Madrid is a good game. Porto Arsenal, it's gonna be a decent game. Napoli Barcelona as well. So look, some very, very, very interesting games coming up, and of course for Real Madrid, Rayo Vallecano away next. And then obviously you have got Sevilla home, Valencia away, before RB Leipzig at home back again. So look, it's gonna be very, very interesting. But you know, I hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. Hit the like button, subscribe. They're just on already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.